What's going on, everyone? Lee Setzer here. Thanks for tuning back into my channel for a new video. And in today's video, I wanted to talk to you guys about how to protect your body and have it last as long as possible. So quite a simple video today, nothing super long, but quite overlooked when people are getting their cars ready to go on the track or prepping some new bodies. So first things first, in front of me here, I have a brand new painted, freshly cut out Nitro Buggy body, stickered up, pretty much ready to go. And if we flip it on the underside here, you can see that I have already reinforced it with some reinforcement tape. And the tape that I use is the J Concepts RM2 reinforcement tape. This tape works quite well for this application. It's super lightweight, so you're not adding a lot of weight to the body, and it's really easy to work with. It moves real well to the curves of the body, and it adds a nice protection to any area that you put it on. So as you can see, I've put it on each of the side guard areas where the side guard will rub the bottoms of the body here, and that just protects it from the paint kind of wearing off over a period of time. I also have tape around my body post holes. Same thing, when the body is shifting on the body post, just protects the paint for as long as possible. And I also have it here on my fuel tank cut out on my upper side, and then around my top end needle, my high speed needle. So for nitro, fuel is always going to be a thing. It gets underneath on your body and your car, and over a period of time, the nitro fuel can eat away at the paint. And there's obviously painters out there and people that put a protective outer coating on it just to help prevent that or slow the process down, which my body does have that. But I always like to do the tape just to add a little bit extra peace of mind and just make sure the body lasts and looks as good for as long as possible. So that's the first thing I do when I get it all cut out, stickered up, is I like to use this RM2 reinforcement tape and just make sure that I got all the high stress areas. You don't need to put it everywhere, but just areas that are high stress or high wear areas. The second thing I do is I always take a little bit of shoe goo, and I will always kind of put a light coating around the edges of the tape just to prevent over a period of time, the stickiness of the tape kind of fading away and then it starts to peel off. So I always just do a light coating around the edges. And just that ensures that the tape's going to stay where I put it. It's not going to kind of start peeling off. And the shoe goo adds a little bit of protective coating as well. I always do a light coating around the body hole mounts as well. So a little bit here, light coating here, and I'll always do some coatings here up top around the high speed needle. And I always do, especially on the RCA B4.1, this front piece here, it kind of sits on our upper arm mount. So I always just do a little bit here just to help prevent cracking over a period of time. And yeah, like I said, just on the high stress areas, you don't need to go super crazy. You don't need to kind of load the body up with shoe goo, but just enough to, put a little bit of protection for the wear and tear over a period of time. So those are the two things I do to the underside of the body. Now, I also wanted to talk to you guys about cutting the body out. So I think this is a pretty important part to ensuring that your body gets the best fit and finish and lasts as long as possible. But I always see people, when they go to cut their body out, they'll always just do like a reamer hole in the front and a reamer hole in the back for the body post holes. And you're actually supposed to slot the rear body hole post out a little bit. So unlike the J Concepts bodies, when you get them, they actually have an indentation where when you take your Dremel, you can just kind of create a slot there. And what that does is when your body is sitting on your car and you're going around the track, your car is going to have flex back and forth, landing, jumping, flat landing, whatever the case may be. You don't want the body to act as kind of a 2x4 or a brace on top of that, right? You want your car to naturally have its own flex without any interference. And if you don't slot the body, you will end up cracking your body. I've seen it many a times. People just do, like I said, the reamer hole. They go out there and it usually cracks within the first few runs because it's too rigid. There's no movement on the body. There's no play. There's no kind of slop. So that's very important to ensuring that you don't get any hairline cracks here on the rear or the front. And when you're also cutting out your body too, just make sure that you spend a little extra time just making sure that your engine head mount or your engine head cutout, your fuel tank cutout, your pipe cutout is all just has a nice fit and finish, right? So you don't have to like stretch the body over to put it on the car. Your fuel tank lid, when you opening and closing it, it's not rubbing. You just want to spend a little extra few minutes cutting that out, just ensuring that you have the best fit and finish. It's also easier for your pit guy too when you ensure that your fuel tank lid is opening and closing without any rubbing against the body. He's got plenty of room for the fuel gun. Yeah, so you just want to make sure that you spend a little extra few minutes doing that. It just gives you the best fit and finish. It allows the body to have some wiggle room when it's on the car, which will definitely help make it last longer. So that's basically about it for today. Pretty short video, pretty simple one. But I thought it'd be useful for you guys out there just to make sure that the money you're spending on having your bodies painted, they look as good for as long as possible and they last a long time for you guys. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for tuning in. Please leave me a comment if you have any questions. Like, share, subscribe. I do really appreciate it. And we'll see you guys at the next one.